The Hard Knocks trailer just dropped, and we are going to get some deep info on a lot of things that we have never seen in the NFL before. I can't wait. Let's get started.
Saquan, can you give me your word on that, or are you not going to give us a chance?
What is going on, guys? What is going on, 27 Squad? Welcome back into another video. And the new trailer for the Hard Knocks offseason edition for the New York Giants just came out a couple of hours ago. As you guys know, this is the first time Hard Knocks and the way they do things, this is the first time they're going to be doing an off-season edition. You guys know that they've been doing the training camp edition forever now, since its inception, and then they moved on to an in-season version of Hard Knocks. Now they have a third edition where it highlights everything that goes on during the off-season, assuming that it's going to start in late February, where we're talking about the combine, and then the pro days and free agency in March, and then the draft in April, and OTAs and minicamp in May and early June. That's where I think the timeline is going to be at. The trailer just dropped for the Giants, and I'm not going to play the full entire thing here because I'm not stupid and I don't want to get copyright claimed. I don't know if HBO Max does any copyright claims. Some companies really don't care, but I'm not going to take my chances. I'm going to cut it up as much as I can and talk about each section. If you guys haven't seen the trailer already in its entirety, I will leave the link in the description so you can watch that first, then come back here, and so you'll be informed on what you saw, and then we'll break it down. All right, so let's go.
New York Giants are now on the clock.
We should stay and pick, right? This is Atlanta. What are you thinking?
All right, so right off the bat, we're in the war room, day one, where the Giants inevitably drafted Malik Nabers. You see Joe Schoen get a call. He says it's Atlanta. Do we stay put at 6? So I guess the phones were ringing there for the Giants at 6 to try to trade down. Now, it's interesting to see Atlanta being one of the teams wanting to trade up to 6, knowing that they drafted Michael Penix Jr., or somebody that nobody thought was going to get drafted into the top 10. On top of that, Atlanta wanting a quarterback is kind of weird. So I don't know if they want to trade up to 6 to grab Malik Nabers, or maybe 6 to grab somebody, because they didn't get Rome Odunze. So I don't know if they want to go up to 6 to get somebody else, or if they actually want to go up to 6 to get Michael Penix. That one's interesting, and I guess the Giants didn't want to go that far down to 8 and miss out on Malik Nabers possibly. And I do want to say Joe Schoen is probably the main character, quote unquote, for this series, and I think he's a perfect fit for it. I think he has the charm, I think he has the smarts, the intelligence, and I think he has a way of talking to a camera that and kind of going about his day-to-day in a really calm way, and it doesn't look like he's flashy for the camera. He doesn't look too awkward. Like, he looks like he's the perfect guy to be in this situation where he's kind of the main character. Everything that he does is going to be documented here in the offseason edition of Hard Knocks. I'm really looking forward to kind of watching the life of Joe Schoen and the rest of the guys as well, like Brian Dable, but I really think Joe Schoen is the main character of this series. And so we're going to get a good look into the draft room. You guys know last year the Giants did a fantastic job with their own media team of kind of breaking down what it was like in the war room during draft night. We saw the Giants trading up one spot for Deonte Banks. We saw the negotiations there, and then taking Deonte Banks and the reaction from that. John Michael Schmitz and Jalen Hyatt as well. We got a lot of good information in that video, but it was just one video. We're going to get a whole HBO Max Hard Knocks edition, probably a whole episode, which these things are an hour long, so a whole episode probably dedicated to the draft. It's going to be awesome. Hopefully they highlight every single pick. I want to see the Tyrone Tracy pick. I want to see the Theo Johnson pick. I want to see maybe Drew Phillips as well, but I really want to see Malik Nabers as well. It's just going to be so fun to watch.
Our team's not built. We're still adding pieces, but we still have the draft and free agency.
What about Brian Burns? Have you looked at Brian Burns? We would have to trade like 2 2s, and then you have to pay him $28-29 million.
Breaking news. Brian Burns to the New York Giants.
Now, this clip is very, very interesting. Let's break it down. So right off the bat, we see Brian Burns. So right off the bat, we see Brian Dable say, hey, this team is not built, but we still have free agency in the draft. That kind of tells me that I know that the Giants don't really feel confident in this group yet. They're trying to build through the draft. Of course, they got a lot of free agent players as well along the way. Look at the guys we got in free agency on the offensive line. Look at Bobby Okereke, Brian Burns. But it's very fair to say that this is not a good roster yet. There's a lot of young pieces there, but we really have to wait for these guys to develop in order for this to be an actually good roster. I'm really worried about this roster. There's a lot unknown and a lot that we need to see, but I am intrigued by this season. Do I have high hopes? No, but I am intrigued by the talent that we have on this roster. And Brian Daboll just saying, listen, this team is not built yet, is just a testament to that we still don't know what we're getting out of this team. And then we see the clip of Joe Schoen inquiring to Brian Daboll and defensive coordinator Shane Bowen about Brian Burns, asking it, what about Brian Burns? Could we get a hold of him? Of course, we're going to have to pay him $29 million, and we'll have to give up 2 twos, which is funny because the Giants did not give up 2 twos to get Brian Burns. They had to spend even less for that. The Giants swapped 5th round picks, gave up another 5th round pick, and also only gave up a 2nd round pick, which was, I believe, our 47th overall pick or 39th overall pick, one of those. But that just seems funny to me that Joe Schoen was pitching to Brian Daboll and Shane Bowen that, hey, can we get Brian Burns? Well, what do you think? 2 second-round picks? I don't know. Well, what do you guys think? And the Giants wound up getting even less for Brian Burns. So, absolute steal. And you also see that it's taking place during the combine. So, we're going to get a lot of combine looks. Maybe we'll see some prospects they were interested in that they wound up not drafting in the first place. And then you see Malik Neighbors at LSU during his pro day. So, maybe we're going to see some pro day looks. You guys know that the Giants went viral with Joe Schoen and Brian Daboll both showing up to the Washington Pro Day, where a lot of people thought they were interested in either Rome Odunze or Michael Penix or maybe somebody else. There was a lot of prospects from Washington this year that went high. So maybe we'll get a look at LSU's Pro Day, Washington's Pro Day. Maybe not, but I'm looking forward to it.
I am 5 months from the surgery, so progressing that. I've gotten hurt, but not like this.
Then we fast forward all the way to OTAs and minicamp. You guys know I just finished breaking down every single OTA practice on this channel just about a month ago. So the Giants and Hard Knocks, the crew there at HBO, were filming all the way up to about a month ago. So we've got a lot of content to go over. There's only going to be 5 episodes, so I'm really interested to see how they're going to scrunch all that in together with still giving us a lot of information. But you see that they are highlighting Daniel Jones. I assume he's probably going to be a big highlight during the OTA portion and minicamp portion of the Hard Knocks, because obviously Daniel Jones being the starting quarterback, we don't know how his progression is going. We're going to get a little bit of an in-depth look on his progression and his kind of growth and his way back to getting cleared. Obviously, he hasn't been cleared yet, so it's not like we're going to have any breaking news during the Hard Knocks, but we are going to see him working his way back as he was working with 7-on-7s and doing individual drills during OTAs.
When you win here, it's unlike anywhere else. If you lose, they're going to be on your ass. It's New York, man.
He's doing everything he can to get back on the field.
Saquan, can you give me your word on that, or are you not going to give us a chance?
My job is to do what's best for the franchise.
Let's go!
Woo! Man, I'll tell you what, HBO knows how to put on a trailer. That trailer got me hyped up. Obviously, the listen, the Hard Knocks music is top tier intro music, man. I love that theme song for Hard Knocks, but it always gets me hyped. But I love how Brian Daboll said, you win here, it's going to be like nothing else, man. It's unlike anything else that you've witnessed before. But if you lose over here, they're going to be on your asses. And I know a lot of people, especially the Giants fans on Twitter, just preach like as if the Giants should just start tanking to get better draft picks, where in the city of New York, that is just not even an option here in New York. You cannot go about just losing on purpose, because you lose one game, they already want you out of the building. So I like how Brian Daboll said it. Listen, this is not a franchise that is going to lose on purpose. I know a lot of people had a big problem with Tommy DeVito getting that 3-game winning streak, kind of taking us out of the race for a quarterback, a top tier quarterback in this draft. I get it, trust me, but that's just how the chips fell. there is no way you are going to get this coaching staff, this front office to outright lose on purpose and try to get better draft picks. They want to win with the team they've got now. They know they're on a clock. John Mara is not a patient owner whatsoever. He wants to win no matter what the roster looks like. So there's a lot of pressure on both the GM and the head coach, and losing is not an option. However, every regime has been doing that the past couple of years.
Saquan, can you give me your word on that, or you're not going to give us a chance?
And then Joe Shane, this is the kicker. This is what everybody was like, oh, snap. And HBO is so good with putting this at last because it just gets me hyped to watch this. This is probably something we're going to see early on in one of these episodes out of the 5 episodes, maybe the first or second episode, because this is during the free agency period where Saquan Barkley is departing. And you know, Saquan Barkley says that there was no offer on the table, and I think that was confirmed as well, that there was no offer on the table for Saquon to come back when Saquon left for Philadelphia. I've had my takes on this channel. I've told you guys already, I'm not upset that Saquon left. I'm really kind of disappointed in all the Giants fans that wanted Saquon to leave, were having their torches and pitchforks in the air for Saquon Barkley to leave because running back's not important, and then he goes to Philadelphia, and those are the same fans that are crying saying he lied to us. He said he wanted to be a Giant forever. I'm not mad about it. I want Saquon to get his money. Of course, I hope that he has a terrible time at Philadelphia, but I'll leave it at that. I respect him for the things that he's done here with the New York Giants, and so we'll see what happens. But I'm interested to see that, man. He said, Saquon, can I get your word on that, or are you not going to even give us a chance? So put in the comments what you guys think that means. To me, my best guess is Saquon Barkley is testing the market, looking at free agency, and Joe Shane's just kind of keeping his eye out on there because obviously you don't want to lose Saquon Barkley, but there's no offer on the table, so I am pretty confused on that part. Because I don't know if Joe Shane is wanting to match any offer that Philadelphia or any team is going to give Saquon. Obviously, we know that the Giants did not pull off a match or win over Saquon Barkley now that we know he is on the Eagles. But it's funny, Saquon Barkley's on the phone. He said, can I get your word on that? Or do we not have a chance? Like, or you're not going to give us a chance? So maybe Joe Shane last minute was like, hey, what's the offer that you have on the table? Let's see like what we can do about it. And Saquon's probably like, nah, bro, I'm good. I'm going to Philly. So honestly, it's the right. Philly is way better off than the Giants right now. If Saquon wants to win, I don't blame him for going over there at all. So he's not even a Giants fan, guys. He was a Jets fan growing up. So you guys just grow up, all right? I don't think there's anybody still pissed off about it, but Twitter is a crazy place. Their negativity echoes forever. So that being said, guys, that is the trailer breakdown for Hard Knocks with the New York Giants offseason edition. I am extremely hyped up about this one, guys. What do you guys think? Leave it in the comment section below. And what do you guys think Joe Shane and Saquon Barkley were talking about at the end of that promo? I'm interested to hear you guys' opinions. That being said, leave a like if you guys enjoyed, subscribe if you guys are new to the channel, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Woo!